Since the inception of media, television, and radio, the use of subliminal and subconscious manipulation, as well as predictive programming, has been used against the masses. As Jim Morrison said, those who control the media control the mind. It is utilized against us via movies, music, commercials, you name it. The use of predictive programming will be the focus in this video in relation to what is currently taking place in our world today and what could potentially occur in the near future. In history, predictive programming has been used for countless events, from celebrity deaths to false flag terrorism and PSYOP events, such as the 7/7 London bombings, Boston bombings, 9/11, etc. 9/11 especially proved this and serves as the prime example for the use of predictive programming. But in the case of 9/11, we learned that this type of programming can stretch not just years in advance, but decades. Before we move on, let's take a look at just a few of the most blatant and shocking examples of 9/11 predictive programming in media. First up, we have the infamous X-Files spin-off pilot episode appropriately titled The Lone Gunman, which aired 6 months prior to 9/11, which revolved around a commercial flight being flown into the World Trade Center towers. The perpetrators of this act was a quote-unquote faction of our government.
We know it's a war game scenario, that it has to do with airline counterterrorism. Why is that important enough to kill for?
Because it's no longer a game.
If some terrorist group wants to act out this scenario, why target you for assassination?
Depends on who your terrorists are.
The men who conceived of it in the first place. You're saying our government plans to commit a terrorist act against a domestic airline?
There you go. Indicting the entire government as usual. It's a faction. A small faction.
For what possible gain?
The Cold War's over, John. But with no clear enemy to stockpile against, the arms market's flat.
You said they intend to bring this down in the middle of New York City? What if there is no bomb?
Well, how are they going to bring it down?
They're going to crash the plane into the World Trade Center.
Then there's the 1996 film, The Long Kiss Goodnight, where not only is the truth about the 1993 World Trade Center bombing is revealed, but they even lay out who will be blamed for 9/11.
1993. World Trade Center bombing, remember? During the trial, one of the bombers claimed the CIA had advanced knowledge. The diplomat issued the terrorist visa. It's not unthinkable they paved the way for bombing, purely to justify budget increase.
You're telling me that you're gonna fake some terrorist thing just to scare some money out of Congress?
Well, unfortunately, Mr. Hennessy, I've no idea how to fake killing 4,000 people. So we're just gonna have to do it for real. Oh, blame it on the Muslims, naturally. Oh, blame it on the Muslims, naturally.
Next, there's the world of wrestling. Wrestling was and is highly connected to Freemasonry and the occult and these hidden powers. And Vince McMahon has always been a highly connected pawn. Nothing more, nothing less. When you just look at who was involved with the world of wrestling, it's not difficult to see why there was so much symbolism used and how it was used to brainwash the masses. Especially when you realize the infamous elite globalist and media mogul kingpin Ted Turner, who founded networks such as CNN, TBS, TNT, founded the WCW, World Championship Wrestling. This is the same man who openly admits we need a new world order with the population reduced by 95% and ran by a global centralized police under the United Nations. Turner states, quote, "A total world population of 250 to 300 million people, a 95% decline from present levels, would be ideal," end quote. Wrestling is something the elite absolutely love because the irony is it reflects the dog and pony show and illusion of the political system of our reality. Scripted, premeditated, bread and circus. Everyone involved in the show of wrestling were given their names, handed their scripts, and did what they were told.
Ted, what do you think America's place in the New World Order should be? It's always been seen as the global policeman. But as you said before, it's hard to see with all these military conflicts where the winner and loser lies. What should America be doing
I think
globally?
the global policeman should be the United Nations.
Is it any wonder why he brazenly named his little WCW faction New World Order? Looking back now, you can see the extent of the programming that took place. Then, there's the two tag teams who headed against each other.
And professional wrestling had a huge part when it comes to 9/11 and predictive programming. And taking a look at Donald Trump alongside the owner of WWE, Vince McMahon, all these elite are connected in some way or fashion. This is an event that took place on Saturday Night Live's main event from 1989.
We're going to have one whale of a main event right here after this commercial message. Twin Towers, take it, Mean Gene.
With me at this time, the Slickster, Akeem, the African Dream, and a big boss man. Gentlemen, is this the match you wanted all along, or are you going to continue your terrorist attack? Three people working as one, with one goal in mind, to defeat. Or should I say demolish the Twin Towers? Hulk Hogan, you talked about the Triangle of Love. Jesse Ventura says there's a problem. Explain.
Well, Mean Gene, you get right to the heart of the matter with that question, brother. It's the love, man, that's going to supercharge the mega powers and tear down the Twin Towers. Until the Twin Towers come crumbling down. Oh, yeah, right. You want to know how powerful the mega powers are? Oh, yeah. Everybody knows that the Twin Towers are big, strong, high buildings, yes, larger than any buildings in New York City. These guys are big and bad. I'm telling you something right now. They may be earthquake-proof. They may be typhoon-proof. They may be tidal wave-proof. Twin Towers, it's gonna be like a fault line going right through their foundation. And the Richter scale is gonna spin around 42 times, go into orbit, and you're gonna see the Twin Towers come crumbling down, yeah.
And that's why they call it television programming, with the tag team of Demolition going against the Twin Towers.
Interesting to note that in the Dark Knight Rises movie, another franchise replete with symbolism and Masonic undertones, features two football teams who head up against one another named Gotham Rogues and Rapid City Monuments. In other words, rogue elements bringing down the Twin Towers. And in the crowd, there's a man with a sign that says, "Demolish the Monuments," eerily similar to the wrestling sign. And although this took place obviously after 9/11, it's a testament to the programming regarding 9/11. And last but not least, there's the shocking Simpsons episode that aired in September of 1997 called The City of New York vs. Homer Simpson, which featured the infamous and creepy 9/11 scene as Lisa Simpson holds up the 9/11 magazine, the camera zooms in, then Bart Simpson waves a wad of cash in front of it.
Oh, I'd love to see New York. We could all go with the bus company's special Super Sitter fare. $9? This one's on me.
And these are just a few examples out of hundreds regarding 9/11 predictive programming. The point is, the invisible empire and forces in control of the media must tell us in advance of what is to come. It's their modus operandi and code. To put it simply, it has to do with spiritual forces and manifestation. Remember, the power of our subconscious and superconscious mind is what they attempt to tap into and take advantage of. Scientists have stated that most of our decisions, actions, emotions, and behavior depend on the 95% of brain activity that is beyond our conscious awareness, which means that 95 to 99% of our life comes from the programming in our subconscious mind. Keep in mind, this form of subconscious manipulation by the media manipulators is basically a form of magic and sorcery. It is just that, because they believe the spiritual realm not only exists, but interpenetrates our world. Through the manipulation of words, sounds, and symbols, they believe they can change people and the flow of events of the world. This is why the world is essentially under mass hypnosis. The bottom line is, they need our support to manifest events. By planting seeds within our subconscious, we unwittingly conform and bend to their will. This is why, if we are aware of their sorcery and manipulation, we can actually break the spell and render it useless. Thus, their desired realities will not be able to manifest. Stay tuned for the full version of this video, where predictive programming pointing to a potential future event will be covered. If you enjoyed this content, please subscribe to my main channel, Truth Media Revolution, and my alternate channel, Truth Media Films.